So if you would like to introduce yourself, who are you, where are you from, and what do you do?
Yeah, so my name is Lemon Lord. I live in West Hollywood, California. I'm a pop music artist, and I sing and I write songs, and that's my main project right now.
That's awesome. Can you tell us about how you got started in the music industry?
Yes, well, before I was Lemon Lord, I lived my life as Nora, which is the person I was born as. and my Nora side of my life also is continuing on, but basically my family was a musical family. My mom and dad played violin, and I learned to play violin as well, and that was my career on the Nora side of things. And so I played with lots of different celebrities and in films and did my own stuff. And then basically a couple years ago, Lemon Lord was born from deep within my soul. I just felt a need to become another person in addition to the person I already was. I don't know if that makes sense, but I just felt a calling to bring some more girl power and inspiration into the world. And so I became Lemon Lord, and I've been having a lot of fun.
Where does the name come from? Anything specific, or was it just something you came up with?
Lemon Lord was a joke that a friend of mine came up with. She's a makeup artist. She lives in Seattle. Her name is Sophie. And we were eating pizza, talking about what my name could possibly be. And we were thinking of all these amazing galactic things because I love Star Wars and I love Princess Leia. And I was just thinking of all of my different inspirations. And anyway, she said Lemon Lord is a joke. And everybody was laughing, and I didn't think it was ever going to be my name because it was so crazy. But I don't know, time sort of went on, and people started to call me Lemon Lord, and then I came up with this slogan, to infinity and be blonde, which became sort of a kind of, I don't know, an ethos or something to me. So anyway, it just kind of fell into place, and people started to know me as Lemon Lord, and people like came up with their own little nicknames for me and things like that. And so basically it took on a life of its own. And then by the time it became, you know, sort of time for me to release music and like to sort of really stick to a name, I couldn't leave her because she was already who I was, and this name already had a lot of meaning to it. So yeah, I had no choice. I don't know. It just happened. And,
it's a cool story. Yeah. I like it. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Who are some of your biggest influences in the music industry today, and how do you kind of incorporate their influence into your work?
Okay, well, the biggest one I would say ever was the Spice Girls. I think the Spice Girls did an amazing thing for music. I think that they took an amazing sort of image of girl power and took it to this international place where any girl around the world could feel like she could be anything she wanted to be, any version of herself at any time. I think that was so powerful, and it's still really powerful today, even though they're not really a group anymore. I think that's still super powerful. I love Britney. Also, Britney, of course, changed my life. I grew up in the 90s, and so Britney was amazing. She's someone that I really look up to, especially with everything that's going on in her life now.
Sure.
She's having sort of a phoenix rising from the ashes moment, and I think that's so powerful. And I also love Lady Gaga, Mother Monster. She changed my life, and she changed millions of lives, and I don't know what I can really say about her, but I just love her strength, and I really sort of fell in love with her when I heard her speech at the Monster Ball. I'm not sure if you know what speech I'm talking about, but there's a speech that she did.
I do.
Yes, you know it. Okay, good. Yeah, and that speech I think really changed the world. So yeah, I would say those three. Yeah, for
That's
right
awesome.
now.
And I just wanted to take note that those were all female artists, which I think is amazing. Part of what we talk about on the show is inclusion and diversity and empowering people who don't always get the voice in the music industry. So is your team that you work with usually female artists as well?
Well, no, unfortunately. I do want to work with more women. I work with women sometimes, like my dance coach is a woman, and there are some other people that I work with who help me out with different things. But the two producers that I've worked with the most are both men, and we need more female music producers.
For sure.
Yeah, that's an emergency. We need that. Maybe not an emergency, but I do want to work with more women. I am really inspired by women. But yeah, it's not always the easiest to find a female of whoever it is that you're looking for, but I'm always looking to work with more women. So yeah, I hope I can find more in the future to collab with.
It's definitely something that's become more prevalent in the industry, is pushing women to step wherever they can and put themselves in wherever.
Oh yeah, no, women, yeah, I think women are absolutely just, I mean, this should be obvious to everyone, but maybe it needs to be said. I think women are just as capable of doing anything that men can do. And I really am a big fan of the idea that, you know, you can be beautiful and smart. You can be, you know, you don't have to pick one. You know, sometimes I think women sort of feel like, okay, well, if I'm a good looking person, then maybe I'm not going to be taken very seriously, but men don't experience that as much, you know. I feel like a good looking man is always seen as being totally capable. So I think that women can also own that exactly the same.
I 100% agree with you. So switching gears a little bit, your debut album was released in 2020. It's titled Be Blonde.
Yes.
What was the story behind that project, and what was it like to create something like that?
Oh, it was so fun. I loved being in the studio. I wrote all of the songs, and I worked with a couple different producers to bring it to life, and I also co-produced it myself. I absolutely love working on my music. I mean, you never know when you're just going to get like a strike of lightning and you're in the studio, you hear something back, and it really makes you just cry, like tears of joy. Yeah. It's amazing. I love working on my music. But yeah, so the title for the album, Be Blonde, came from my slogan, To Infinity and Be Blonde, which is basically just an idea that like you can go as far and as high as you want in your life, and you can be any version of yourself that you want to be. You don't have to be the version of yourself that people know, or the version of yourself that your family wants you to be, or whatever. Just be whatever version you want to be. And so that's sort of what Love and Lord is all about. And so out of that came my record, Be Blonde, which is sort of my idea of just being whoever I want to be. And I don't really have any slow songs on the album, which is sort of funny. Most albums have at least one slow song, but I don't know, I just didn't feel like writing any I just didn't feel like writing any slow music for this. I just wanted to bring some power and some, you know, inspiration and some energy to pop music. And I feel that that strong sort of sound is not really on the charts as much anymore like it used to be, and I hope that I can help bring it back to life.
For sure. I'm a huge fan of the album, and I'm sure that
Thank you.
A bunch of our listeners will be after hearing a couple of your songs that we're going to play and this interview. I'm hoping that it definitely gains some traction with my platform.
Yay! Thank you so much.
Of
Appreciate that a
lot. Can you walk us through your songwriting process? Do you have like a consistent process, or is it different with each song?
I would say it's slightly different with each song, because sometimes you get the lyrics first, sometimes you get a melody but there's no words, sometimes you get like a chord progression. I play a little bit of keyboard. I'm not very good, but I play a little keyboard. So usually I write songs using the keyboard, and I just record them into my voice memos app on my iPhone. And then from there, if I'm, you know, finished sort of creating like the basic structure of the song, like I've got a verse, I've got a chorus, maybe I've got an intro or a pre-chorus if I want one. I've sort of got like the basic outline for a song. Then basically after that, I would go and make a demo in the studio with an engineer, basically, maybe a producer, but probably just an engineer, just so we can get the basic sounds and the basic parts and just see how it sounds like as a song. And then I have a bunch of those in my files, my Dropbox, whatever. And then basically from those, whatever ones you feel like are the most promising, then you sort of take those to the next level and you record those into like a fully realized song, which takes a lot more time because you really have to dial in each sound, and you want to make sure that, you know, it's comparable to the other stuff that's on the radio. And so yeah, going from that demo stage to the more final sort of stage, that can be quite a process, because sometimes you have to replace a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
you're kind of going from like a basic architecture to like, okay, like, are people going to dance to this, you know? So
Yeah, for sure.
things like that. But yeah, I would just say mostly what I do is just record like tons and tons of little snippets into my voice memos. That's like that's the way that I do it most of the time.
That's awesome. I think that's really cool. I've always kind of wanted to be part of that process.
Okay, cool. Yeah, well, anybody can write a song, I
But
think.
I think
I
that,
don't think you need to have
oh yeah,
a musical background, but
process is
everybody has that app, so I think everybody should try it.
Oh yeah, no, I think it's really cool how a little voice memo on your phone can be on the radio. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, it takes a little finessing, but I mean, that is how it is.
But that's how it starts.
Yes, Taylor Swift has shared some of her voice memos, and Lady Gaga also, and it's so fun because you never know like when an idea is gonna come to you.
Yeah.
And you don't know if it's gonna be the next amazing thing or if it's just sort of a weird thing goodbye. So yeah, you just have to record everything. So yeah,
I love it. No, I'm an Ariana Grande fan, hence the shirt.
But, oh my god, I love Ari so much. Yes,
I've seen her concert 4 times.
Yes.
But she also shares little snippets of things that she films on her phone. I think it's really cool.
Yes, yeah, I love her too. Totally.
Yeah. Who has been your favorite collaborator? That can be like a producer, a songwriter, another artist, or anybody you can think of.
Well, I think my favorite so far has been the main producer on Be Blonde. I worked with several different engineers and producers, but the main one was Johannes Berger. He went to Berklee College of Music. He lives out here in LA with me. Well, no, he doesn't live with me, but he lives in LA as well as me. And he was so amazing because I came to him with so many sort of half-finished demos, and he was able to really sort of hear where I wanted to go, and he helped really focus the process of the vocal production, which is not something I was used to. Pop vocal production is very tedious and it takes a lot of takes. And even I think we did it in a way that wasn't even as in-depth as, you know, probably Ariana would do it, which, I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure. But I'm going to guess that when you get to that, you know, highest level, you probably have even more takes. But yeah, so he was really important to me to help me sort of craft the vocals and the backgrounds and just the layers. And he was such a help to me because without him, I really don't think I would have been able to sort of realize the sound that we got. So yeah, thank you, Johannes.
Awesome. What is your favorite song off of that album? Which one holds the most meaning to you?
Well, they're all very special to me. They're all like my little babies in a little garden. But I would say probably right now my favorite is Superpower. That's the last song on the album, and Superpower is just it was probably the song that I thought about the least. It like literally came to me like a bolt of lightning. I don't know where it came from, but every time I hear that song, I just feel like everything is gonna be okay.
I feel like that's a commonality. The songs that you don't focus on as much are the ones that are sometimes come out the best or have the most meaning, or, you know, the ones that kind of fall into place.
It could be.
I hear that a lot.
Sometimes, you know, the ones that are like the biggest pain in your ass are sometimes the ones that, you know, you really get the most out of.
Yeah.
Some people really suffer over their work, and I've suffered over some songs, but yeah, I don't know. It just depends. Like, you just never know. With art, it's so crazy because there's no, you know, it's not like science or, you know, a lot of other things where there's a, you know, a set, you know, a list of things that you kind of have to go through. It's genius can strike at any point from any place. You don't know. Maybe you heard it in a toilet brush commercial, you know, 5 years ago, and it's coming back to you in a new way. Like, you just never know. So
yeah. For sure. No, that's awesome. Your most recent single, titled Queen, was released this year as a remix. Can you tell us a little bit about this song? What's it about? How did you write it? Who did you write it with?
Yeah, so I was the only writer on this one. And basically it's sort of a song about talking to a future version of yourself, and this person is telling you what you need to do, and giving you sort of like love and encouragement. So I imagine sort of like a Wonder Woman sort of like character in your life that's sort of you in the future, is sort of helping you and just giving you love. And it's sort of about listening for those messages and finding a way through, and you know, just being the hero that you need in your own life. And so that was one of my favorite songs on Be Blonde as well. And then a few months after that, I thought it would be so fun to release a few more dance remixes of these songs. So a friend of mine in Las Vegas, Milk Rings, who's an amazing producer and DJ, offered to do a few of these. So that's the first one that just came out.
Yep.
And then there's going to be more coming soon. Actually, he just sent me a mix yesterday that I listened to of another one of the songs, and it's amazing. So we're gonna put out a few more. And
any ideas of combining those together to do like a remix album type of thing, or is it just going to be more of like single releases?
I think we're going to do a couple more singles, but definitely I'd consider collaborating with him on a more like formal project, because he has an amazing way of sort of reimagining the relationship between chords and melody, and just arranging songs in a way that really like keeps them interesting and energetic. And he's a very unique sort of person. So I'm definitely interested in that. But the next thing that's going to come out is going to be another single collab between us. So I'm excited for that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So we are super excited to continue following you throughout your musical career.
Thank you.
What are your personal goals for the coming year?
For the coming year, let's see. Well, I would love to do my first show. I haven't done a show yet, which is so crazy, but I released this record during the pandemic. So basically I've just been working on this, you know, since that whole time of things being shut down. But I would love to do my first show. That's something I'm like dying to do. I need to go on a tour. That's what I need to do. So I'm going to be also writing some new material. So hopefully in the next year, I'll have probably recorded another record. And then I also need to start shooting some videos. So hopefully within the next year, all of that will be on its way, and the world will be illuminated with just happiness, joy, and yeah, hopefully.
We can only hope.
We can only hope. Yeah. So so I'm working on a lot of different stuff right now, but I'm basically writing a lot. I try to write every day if I can. Yeah. So.
Oh, that's awesome. That's a good goal to have.
Yeah. Thank you.
Good. So I know you mentioned the remix singles that will be coming out, but can you tease any other upcoming releases or things that you've really been working on that are have set release dates or anything, or is it nothing quite there yet?
Well, I have talked with a few different music supervisors about putting my music in some different TV shows and films. Like, that's a dream of mine. I would love to just, you know, go to a movie theater near me and get a little bucket of popcorn and just boom, hear my song come on in a movie theater. So I'm working on hopefully getting some placements like that. That would be so amazing. And aside from that, yeah, I'm just really starting to focus on, you know, when and where will be the best place to perform, because in LA, things are still kind of complicated right now. And the rules for every show and venue are very different. And, there's a lot of venues opening and a lot of venues closing. And so it's a little bit complicated, but I'm hoping to get that going ASAP, because as I mentioned before, with my life as Nora, which is my other sort of life, I've been performing on that side, you know, my whole life. And I love performing and I think it's so fun. And there's nothing like meeting people in person, you know?
For sure.
So yeah, that's some of what I'm working on right now.
The whole virtual thing is hard. I'm doing
yes.
We have a student record label here on campus, and I'm doing A&R for the student record label with an artist who's out of British Columbia, Canada. And it's hard.
Amazing.
It's cool, but it's really hard to not be able to see her.
I hear ya. Yeah, I know. It's just, it's so tricky. But when you think about, you know, well, maybe this is not the same for you, but for me, when I think about all the great artists that I listened to growing up, you know, in like the late 90s, I think about, you know, I didn't watch a lot of music videos in that time, and I didn't go to a lot of shows because I was too young, and also they were really expensive, and I didn't really live in a place where a lot of big tours would come through. But, you know, I'd listen to like Jennifer Lopez or whatever.
Yeah.
And I think that the music was so just strong and powerful and just healing to me that, like, I don't know, I look back on those times and I have a renewed faith in just the song itself. And like, of course you have to perform, of course you have to do videos, you got to do it all. But like, I just really believe in a song by itself to do a lot in the world.
No, I completely agree.
Yeah.
Like the live performances are definitely something that everybody's missing, and it's definitely a big like way to get your fan base together and that kind of thing. But
yes,
a song definitely has power to move.
Yes.
Any of the
That's exactly what I was trying to
video
say.
or live show, but no, I completely agree with you for sure.
Yeah.
Any advice you'd give to other singer-songwriters who are just getting started?
Yeah, absolutely. Just keep recording even your worst idea, because if you get it out, then it makes room for the next best idea. And you never know what, like if you're working on a song and there's a moment, there's a transition, a piece of a verse that you're like, what am I going to put here? You might find that you already have something there that you already recorded that you maybe forgot about that would go with another idea. So I would say just always record everything. Don't be afraid to release stuff. Like every genius artist, every legend has some weird recordings out there. Like that's part of the journey, you know, so just never be afraid to release stuff. And yeah, just keep going and always believe in yourself, because everybody who does this is just a normal person just like you. So
that's great advice. I grew up a performer, and
you did. Cool.
Yeah, yes, I did. I'm also a vocalist, but has taken the back burner because of school, of course. But I used to record voice memos all the time, and I lost them when I got a new phone. But I would look back on those, and they were from years ago. I had like years worth of voice memos, and I look back on those, and I'd be like, wow, I was pretty good when I was 12. Like, not gonna lie, but the lyrics weren't bad.
Oh, so, that's amazing.
I definitely agree with the just record anything, because you'll look back on it, and
for sure, yeah, you never know. And yeah.
Anything else you think is important to talk about, anything that you're super passionate about that you want to share with our audience, the world, YouTube, the radio, anything?
God, I'm so passionate about so much. I don't even know where to start. I don't know what to say. Girl power forever. I don't know. I guess all I want to say is that I appreciate everybody who's listening to my music, and I hope that it makes you feel strong and powerful and beautiful, and that's really what I wanted to create. So I hope that there's a piece of yourself that you can see in any one of my songs, and yeah, I just wanted to give that to everybody, so I hope that they can find it.
That is awesome. Where can our viewers, our listeners find you? What's your social media tags, your Spotify, any other platforms you're on?
Yes, so on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, I'm at I am Lemon Lord. And then on Spotify and Apple, I'm just Lemon Lord. Or you can search Be Blonde. I think there's only one record that's called Be Blonde. But yeah, so come and find me. And I try to answer all my DMs if I can, as long as they're respectful. I try to answer. So yeah, send me a DM, say hi or something. And yeah, thank you so much for talking with me. This is so fun.
Yeah, of course. Thank you so much for doing this with me. And it was super great to see you. That's awesome.